Hi everyone, we've got my friend Ivan Teller here, and welcome to the Promethean. And we're going to be discussing a few things here and there, pretty much whatever comes that we've been concerned about over the last month or so, with regards to MILAB, the MILAB situation. For anyone who needs to know who Ivan Teller is, I'll put the links at the bottom of the video. Hi, Ivan. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you for being
Happy
here.
New Year.
Thank you. I've decided for us to connect on a few things. I've made a few notes here and there on the dark net, and I'm basically incorporating the information of the dark net and the unraveling of the MILAB, because the two have a similar sort of connection with each other. And the reason I decided to bring up the dark net is because it's, aside from the the world view on what it actually is, for me, to you, I'm sure, it represents a pocket reality where society exists in some sort of secrecy or anonymity, rather. And so the MILAB abductors they are pretty much in the same sort of parallel, I would say. So yeah, I'm going to so that's why I'm tying it up to the darknet. We also know that the darknet is coming from DARPA, internet as well. So it's natural for them to create a split off secret, more
Mhm.
secluded section on the net. So
Yeah.
how have these things, what are your thoughts on these? Just take it from whatever your experiences is with
Yeah.
the
It's
darknet and my labs.
yeah, it makes sense. Well, they obviously the dark net, they're welcoming people, if you know what you're doing, like with Tor to get in there. So it's another place of disclosure, it seems. Another, if you can manage through it all.
Mm,
Definitely a lot of secret society energy there,
yeah.
obviously. So yeah, it's a lot of it's Zeta, but it's not all Zeta,
Mm,
but quite a bit of it is.
yeah.
I believe that that is a place where they wanted to, yeah, disclose themselves if they already haven't, if they haven't already.
Mm.
Um, I feel like there's something there that's not being made public, but it
Do you,
is on there.
do you think it's actually starting to open up now, unravel now with all of these changes? What do
Yeah,
you think
little by little. Yeah,
coming out?
yeah. The MyLab stuff, I just sort of stumbled upon. I mean, I've heard about it, but never really,
Mm,
because I'm working on my comic projects, and it sort of just said I was going to call it something, in the story I was going to name it. It's like, wait a minute, I haven't even dived into the My Lab. And then I had like that dream
yeah.
like the next night or that night after I channeled it. So, being
Well,
taken up in the
so
sky and everything.
the dream basically had a lot of MILAB information in it, right?
Yeah, I was
And
taken up in the sky. I was taken in the sky twice without my
yeah.
will, controlled, and I turned on. I believe I locked a car. It was like green. I locked a car and I unlocked it, and then I was walking through like a neighborhood, my neighborhood, but it was like misty. I was going through the houses,
Yeah.
and I've somehow ended up where I live and back, where there's two dogs with different types of heads, like a gopher head, you can say, or
Right.
something twisted. And one did come to me. I
Mm.
tried to get it away. It was growling, but it was okay. But the face is kind of like a pit bull in some form. So they do a lot of stuff with pit bulls apparently.
So, but it had three heads, the dog, or
There were two dogs, but
two
both of them
dogs.
had their own head.
Oh,
But
I see,
they
I
had,
see.
they had their own heads. It just like gopher heads.
Okay, okay. That's
It's like,
interesting. Gophers, what do? They build, your country has got gophers.
yeah,
What are they?
and Yeah, well, go for a beaver head. It was something similar to
Oh,
that between the two.
okay.
A beaver's like building dams and things like that. Gophers just
Okay.
dig in the ground. Yeah.
So would you say then that your dream was hijacked? Pretty much.
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. To put it like
It's
that.
like,
So this is typical of what these MILAB incidences give is normally paralysis. You're not able to resist their interest, their influence. Now, for those who don't know about what a MILAB is, a MILAB is a military abducted event. And a person who is experiencing a military abducted event is normally led to believe that it's an extraterrestrial interference or extraterrestrial abduction. Um, so yeah, it sounded to me like you pretty much had a very dead on MILAB experience with regards to what you've been researching, right?
yeah, yeah. I felt and the channelings or let's artificial intelligence,
Okay.
like a hub of it
Yeah.
is a main like a mothership motor, you know something like a Google, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's part of the
Yeah.
MyLab Google or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So
Well, darknet, right?
yeah, the
That's
dark,
what I
yeah,
think. I definitely
yeah,
think that the darknet,
yeah,
this
I
is
can understand that.
a server that
Hmm.
exists inside another server with they normally use onion torrents
Yeah.
to put that server in there. So there's a lot of people that know exactly how to get in there and so on. Um, so naturally speaking, we would know that the military would definitely utilize that server or that technology, right, to initiate the MILAB experience, right? That's why I thought darknet is a good way to tie it up.
No, no, that makes sense. I didn't think about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm too busy trying to defend myself from it. It's like,
yeah,
jeez.
yeah. That's crazy that it
Yeah.
does that. Uh, that it's even surfaced now. I mean, I was wondering about all of the this whole
Mhm.
drama with the pandemic.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what happened to all the other information? What's happened to other information? Has it been
Hmm.
squashed, or has it just not? Has it just been silenced? Because
Hmm.
normally there's um, the internet would give you the streams of information would normally give you, okay, there's been a tornado there was a thunderstorm there was a UFO abduction, and there was that, and there was this, and there was that. All of that information is dead, or it's hidden,
Hmm.
and everything is just one controlled process with regard to this pandemic, right? So naturally, the guys who've been doing the hiding of the information, the darknet guys or DARPA or whatever, um, do you think that they would amp up because of your investigations into the AI? Do you think that that's
Yeah.
possible?
Well, yeah. I think they wonder how we tap in. They don't want people tapping into what they're
Yeah,
doing for
yeah,
obvious reasons. Go back to your television. Go back to your
yeah.
celebrities. Just stay out of our business. So, but yeah, they're just. I mean, it's been kind of. I tried to get them to come after me again because I did another MyLab video, but I didn't receive anything back. So, or if I have not. Of course,
Mm,
when the new year came in, I had a kind of like a weird visit and a dream, but that's only for like an old friend. I feel like a Babylonian archon that is
okay,
somebody I used to know. It's like,
interesting. There are
yeah,
no
it's like,
accidents.
well, I have a friend like when I was in high school. He's like really intelligent, but just kind of vicious, kind of evil. Especially kind of relationships. Like you can put on a good like a lawyer. Not all lawyers are like this, but you can put on this good show, and then he's like a totally different person,
Yeah.
and really
Oh,
like abusive
narcissist.
because
Right.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah, like abusive, like physically abusive, like at least for his women, at least to get what he wants.
Okay.
So, but you wouldn't see a clean cut putting on this show.
Okay.
So yeah,
So I wanted to ask you something just out of interest sake. When you channel,
Hmm.
this is something that I'm fascinated by. So
Hmm.
the way you channel, how is it that when you're able to connect with, let's say, whomever, that you are able to relate the, the different timelines coming from that particular person? Like, I mean, you said this dream you had about this friend that's like a Babylonian archon.
Yeah,
You know it, or you've
I
experienced it,
feel it.
you feel it.
I feel, yeah, I didn't really. He shows up in my dreams every once in a while because we're not friends anymore. It's like high
Mm,
school. Um, but yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, just he just showed up in my dream
a
like
presence.
a presence. Yeah, and I just felt the energy of it. I just felt what was coming. I mean, it's not a person I think about like ever,
Yeah,
and sometimes it just appear in your mind. So
yeah.
yeah, it's like
So would you say that it's got something to do with perhaps the work that you were doing, the
probably, yeah,
investigation?
I think so. Well, yeah, I think someone has to do with some like people are not doing so well in certain
Yeah,
areas, and not to go into detail
yeah,
where he
yeah,
works with, but
yeah.
probably that area is not doing so well what
Okay,
he's in business with. So
okay.
I mean, to give you some context a little bit, I mean he's growing up because I knew him in high school. So his brother gave him a car,
Yeah.
his grandfather gave him a house, his 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 piano teacher actually gave him piano, even students. It's like everything was given to him. He's like a
Wow.
narcissistic psychopath. Of course, you wouldn't see that when you're talking to people. Oh, how's it going? Yeah, yeah, it's something else. Yeah.
It's
So,
funny that you mentioned that because I recall I had a dream long time ago where I actually saw inside. I know that my dreams are often, I do a lot of dream work.
yeah,
Um, and my dreams often show me the particular structure or the infrastructure of that particular system,
right.
uh, as a metaphorical example. And what I dreamt was that I saw them pretty much look like, very much like what you're describing. Very, they're kind of stupid too, right? I'm gonna say it for what it is, right? So there's this like, I would call it dense energy. I would call it denser energy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that is what I would.
well, yeah, like the narcissist was so common. It's just like
Yeah,
we're coming into some kind of like we have the election coming up
yeah,
again.
yeah.
this for for us,
Right?
United States, this is a kind of a big deal week for. I mean, who's gonna win this? I'm not gonna bother with tapping. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
see what happens at this point. We're in such a strange
The red and
time.
the
I mean,
blue.
yeah, I know it's ridiculous. I'm waiting for more. Yeah, no, like the whole monetary system and all that. That's just another. No matter how you change it, it's still the same system.
Yeah,
The idea is just to
yeah,
delete it
yeah. So
altogether.
so we can basically tie in from you just a few days ago from your experience. There's military abduction, artificial intelligence, and Babylonian magic.
Yeah,
Makes a nice picture, right?
yeah,
Well,
and they're just keeping this reality going as much as they can, and
I
you
think
know,
it's because they're afraid.
yeah, because we tap into all this stuff. And obviously, the masses aren't going to believe it because they've been programmed. I mean, nothing new there, right?
I don't think that honestly, can I say I don't think that they really care too much about what, let's
Mm-mm.
say, 7 billion people on the planet think, except only a few. Only a few that actually see everything, right?
I can see that because it's
Right.
like you're not supposed to pay attention to us. It's like,
Yeah.
and they get all irritated.
Yeah.
I can
Well,
see that.
it's interesting. It's not even, it's weird now that
Makes
I'm
sense. That makes
speculating
sense.
about that whole scenario where um, they really are putting up a show for us, not so.
Yeah, this is what we do to people, and yeah, we can. Yeah, this is like the year of more like spiritual disclosure. I don't know about aliens arriving tomorrow, but yeah, getting to know how they do things. Yeah, more of that's going to be disclosed.
I think it's
And
disclosing all the time. I think we are disclosing
that's
it
true.
all the time. I think
That's true.
that
But I feel like it's going to get stronger, is what I felt.
yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, think about a psychopath now. I know that I spoke about psychopaths before because they're interesting and because they are so
Yeah.
either very stupid or very, very intelligent or
Yeah.
foolish rather. I don't know.
Yeah. Smart but stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's almost arrogant as well. So you
Yeah.
have to admire the tenacity for actually pulling off the plans that they do, right?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
well to go back to the MILAB first. I feel like they're blocking me for obvious reasons.
Right now.
Well, or even before now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what was there something? Well, yeah, I want to bring up the Mel. You're aware of Meldeck, right? We talked about that.
Maldek.
Meldeck,
And
you're aware.
tell me a little bit about Maldek and for the people that are listening.
Oh yeah, I don't know the whole story of it. I never really
No,
tapped it.
no, 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 no. Give your story.
Oh, my story. I
Yeah.
just know that people that was destroyed and people went.
Yeah.
It's kind of like technology. Well, I felt some people said it was like gorilla beings are there, which I wouldn't doubt.
Okay.
But also, last night's channeling was about, and I wasn't looking for this
All right.
because Nancy Pelosi, somebody put a pig in front of her house, and it's like
Okay.
that's a little bit. So I kind of like
Interesting.
reconnected to the pig, and I was channeling. It's like all of a sudden the pig energy comes through. It's like like pigs are part of that Maldek world, like beings cause it to be destroyed, which I really wouldn't doubt.
Maldek, from what I know, I don't exactly know the whole thing about
Yeah, I don't either.
the in
Yeah,
about Maldek, but because I haven't really gone into that history.
yeah,
But I do know that when you mentioned about the pig energy,
yeah,
the Chinese here zodiac says that the year of the pig is in 2031, the next year of the pig. So that could correlate with the Agenda 2030, right?
yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
even if she is putting the picture of the pig in front of her house, she may be telling everybody else she's a supporter of this agenda. But it's rather, you see, again, this is so tenacious, right? Tenacious? Yeah. Not even arrogant, maybe. Maybe it's for everyone else to look to see, like, oh, maybe it's for them to think, for us to see. Because
Yeah.
narcissists do not want to do things in secrecy. They want to always show themselves. They can be, even if it's bad attention, they want to have it, all of it,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Feel like
So
they're right, or
yeah,
how brave and how smart they are, and
yeah, yeah. It's like the story about a parent and a child, where a child will demand attention no matter even if it's bad attention. They want
yeah.
attention,
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, a kid. Well, yeah, because they feel like they're not getting any attention, so they don't
right?
care anymore.
So this is why I think that the information that we've been seeing is really all about
No.
what they want us to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, like even like Area 51, like getting like even energies of them, like people that are tapping into it, will see more on a spiritual level. And they might, these people that are doing all this might just start putting more, clear out the blockages so we can see more. So I guess we'll be like even crazier.
Well,
Something like that.
information, motion overload,
Yeah,
sensory overload. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
With the
because
mask on.
well, like MJ12, I believe MJ12 does exist in some form or another, but that's part of the alien cover up, to keep
Yeah,
things quiet.
yeah,
I feel like they're part of course, they change members every once in a while, but because some like just I don't know if there's going to be like a government disclosure of all this, but anything's possible. But
It's interesting that you, so you definitely feel that there's some sort of disclosure, revelation, or
I
reveal
feel like
that's
it's
going
gonna
to
get
happen.
stronger. Yeah, I don't know in what form or anything, but I don't know anything. But like
Interesting.
they're like the Pentagon, they put that out there last year,
Yeah.
and who knows? I mean, they're doing this whole with this virus. They're just
Yeah.
locking the doors on all of us and just throw
No,
away
but
the key,
it's
basically.
but look at it now. Look at, for example, if you had to watch a series,
Hmm.
okay, they always leave the end of the one episode with a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
So you have to wait for 2 weeks before you watch the next, or 1 week to
whatever.
see the
Yeah,
next episode. So for a whole week, you have to stress out because you wonder whether your favorite character
or
died or not.
or at the end of a season, sometimes it's
Right.
months.
So
You know
it's
what I mean?
sometimes two
Yeah,
years or a year.
yeah,
You can
exactly.
stress out because you're waiting.
Yeah.
So this is part of what I think is what
Hmm.
they're doing. Sometimes the most simplest answer to
I know.
what is happening is,
Yeah,
yeah,
right in front of us.
Occam's razor. Yeah,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
yeah,
Or like, was it Independence Day?
yeah.
The movie they're trying to push that timeline that it was going to be successful, but
So wait a
it's
minute,
like, hey,
sorry, what year was Independence Day movie made?
93 or 92, something like that. But it's funny. I mean, when you look at it from a elitist point of view,
Yeah.
it's like, look at them all. They think we're just having games with it. Yeah, it's just a movie, but actually they want to do that, just wipe out or
Well,
cause.
actually, they themselves, I know, I'm going to call them as a collective.
Mhm.
Obviously, there are some of them who think that the other ones that are pushing it are nuts as well. I can tell you for a fact, not everybody's all on the same wagon,
Oh yeah, no, no.
but um,
Yeah,
it's like pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing to see how far they can get away with it
yeah, 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 yeah. All the time. Yeah.
all the time.
Well,
So
well, like what California's going through right now, or
yes,
New York City, they're pushing it. They don't give a shit. Just,
happening here as well.
yeah,
It's shameless. It's almost like there's like absolutely no awareness of any particular moralistic, you know, just going shamelessly and taking the knife and going,
yeah.
sticking. Does this hurt a little bit? A bit more? Does it hurt? Does it hurt a bit more? Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's what connecting slowly into like an elitist realm, like a
Okay.
dimension,
Right.
like with like we did the channel about, was it Moldavite? Moldavite, yeah. They even
What?
have some Moldavite here, but
Okay.
Moldavite I have is like really really small compared to, I don't know if Moldavite's always small pieces.
I think they're small because they're so expensive to get.
Okay, that's why. Because in the channeling is what I saw, a
Yeah.
big one. It's like,
Oh, right.
but that's in the connection
Okay.
though. That's
Okay.
different.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like on a wizard staff, or yeah, you
Multiplied.
can connect
That's
to
very
different
interesting.
realms.
That is an extraterrestrial connective interface.
Yeah.
Multiplied. I know that.
Yeah.
I've once had a piece and it was like making me talk to all kinds of ETs present in all
Yeah.
dimensions. And
Yeah.
yeah, you have to be able to control it. Otherwise, it controls
Well,
you.
yeah, it's like there's like an elitist realm where you say it's astral,
Yeah,
where they're not always who they claim they are.
yeah,
It's like tricksters. It's just
yeah.
that's the realm that they live in, and that's what causes. Right? I believe they are involved with bringing dictators here, and
Mm,
they plan all that stuff.
mm.
If it's successful or not is another story, but they're still involved with. Bill Gates is a good example of it. People to
It's
keep it to continue the agenda. Yeah.
it's interesting that you say that you bring up the stone though.
Hmm.
I know that there was a guy called John Dee who was very, uh, I'm not going to go into detail, but he used stones, crystals, crystal technology to communicate with angels.
Yeah.
And not all of them were angels. In his notes, there was mention that the information that came to him, the communication that came to him almost in shafts of light, patterns of light. Now, interesting you bring that up about the stone, because there's another guy from what I've read, who created something called the Urim and Thummim. Thummim, Urim, yeah, Urim and Thummim. It's a, I'll give you the right word, how it's pronounced, but it's Joseph Smith from the Mormon people
Oh, okay. Yeah.
with the breastplate with all the colored stones on it. Okay,
Yeah.
about it, let's go with that one. And um, that also was used to communicate with others,
Yeah.
God, angels, whatever, however it was mentioned in the material. But so crystal technology is definitely a remnant, I would say, from Atlantis, still being used. Hence, probably why you
Yeah.
saw that stone.
Somebody has it. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a massive piece of stone to be able to channel a lot of ET energy in here, right?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is very interesting, fascinating, very.
Yeah. Well, like I haven't gone into the museums that seems to come to mind. You
Yeah,
know, that's like a controlled story basically
yeah,
of history.
yeah,
Even the museums have a lot of, I mean, majority of them. I mean, not all of them, but majority of them are, you know, anything you see Egyptian
mm,
artifacts there, like it was at London and
mm,
I imagine Germany also. You know, it's just controlling that power. And obviously, they're letting that's what they're allowed publicly.
yeah,
But even was it Napoleon? I imagine he found a lot of things that are hidden
yeah,
currently. You know, so
yeah. No, you see, just to so I would like to suggest something that I've been thinking about now for a while now. Um, I'm going to bring this back in about the Fourth Reich, right?
hmm
And
hmm
the Fourth Industrial Revolution, right? What are your thoughts on that? What do you think? What comes to you when you think about what I've just told you? The Fourth Industrial Revolution is a revival or the Great Reset. That's what they call it now.
hmm
Do you think that there's a correlation between the two? That's why I'm basically bouncing it off on you. I think
yeah,
yeah, I think there's a correlation between the Fourth Industrial Revolution, which is the technology,
hmm yeah,
okay, advancement,
hmm
and the Internet of Things,
hmm
and then the Fourth Reich. I think there's a, I think that's it. I think there's that correlation between the two. What do you think?
yeah. Well, yeah, it's like a spiritual rebel. Even with spiritualism is opening up more,
Yeah,
as you know, it can easily be hijacked also,
right.
which is already happening. Because you
Yeah,
see, well, religion is kind of, it seems like it's not dying out, but it's transforming.
yeah,
So when I say that, I just feel the spiritual side of it is what I feel. The hijacking of it so they can control
okay.
what people think. And
That's
it's
very
almost
interesting.
worse than everything else when you think about it. So,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, here's the aliens, and then they show up. But they're not good ones. I don't know. Who knows?
I think that they've always been showing themselves. I think that when we look at
Mhm.
people, when we look at what they've been doing, I mean, what is happening right now is almost inhumane.
Yeah.
So isn't that also alien to the actual human race itself? What's
Yeah.
happening right now? Man's inhumanity to man is inhumane.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not even animal-like. It's not even beast-like. It's inhuman.
Yeah.
So inhuman would then qualify itself as whatever reptile or whatever species of extraterrestrial is hanging around that's making this happen. And this is not a direction at any particular extraterrestrial race at all. This is
Mhm.
just a society of
Well,
extraterrestrial
yeah.
behavior.
Well, I was feeling this for earlier today about like the fall of Atlantis. Of it was very positive. At least I believe it was positive in some form.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
neutral, but some of them, in the darkness got stronger and just like some like people like the masks. People are wearing their masks. Good people, conform.
mm,
The same thing happened there at Atlantis. Is like they
yeah,
might be good, but they're easy to control too.
yeah.
And so the darkness takes advantage of it here, at least. Other worlds are not so. The darkness isn't that strong, but
Well, you see, now that's interesting you bring that up because I believe what you're believing exactly with what you're saying there. Uh, I've been specifically working on neutering the after
yeah.
effects of the darkness
Mm-hmm.
in my perceptions, in my experience, and
Mm-hmm.
deliberately changing or manipulating what they're trying to scare me with into something that I can learn from. I'm transmuting it using a bit of alchemy. And for me, it feels like it's working so far. Touch wood.
Yeah. I'm
That's what I'm doing. So yeah, what do you
yeah.
do with when you're just when you're investigating? Because you're basically investigative
Yeah.
whistleblower channeler. Basically, that's who you are. That's what you do. I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing a great deal of this particular work to expose, to bring it out into this reality.
Mm-hmm.
And people like yourself are part of the disclosure um, process,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You put
So
it out there, and
how do you protect yourself with all this?
I predict
How
you
do you
wrestle a
protect
lot.
yourself?
So,
You,
uh, you sleep. You do creative stuff. I guess it's on how you look at things. You just, like you say, stay busy. I feel like because I have a daytime job too, I wonder when that's going to fizzle out. It's gonna lose its wheels eventually.
doesn't have to.
But well, I figure I'll do more of this full time when the time is right. But I don't think the time is right yet.
Mm,
I guess I got nowhere else to go. And that's right about Florida, the Bermuda Triangle. Some of us are in certain places for a reason because of
yeah,
certain anomalies.
yes.
Watching and I don't really know what I'm doing in Florida half the time. They don't tell me the full detail, but I believe the Bermuda Triangle has a big part of it.
I actually
So,
believe. I think that the Bermuda Triangle is something that happened with the technology before Atlantis fell.
yeah,
I have a very strong sense that the Bermuda Triangle was something that was used for positive
yeah, enters.
enforcement.
Oh yeah,
And because there was no one now to take care of it, it just is. But it's like a giant ley line that's triangular, right? That's what I
yeah,
would see it as.
yeah. I can see
Um,
that.
yeah, and
Just
ley lines are pretty potent.
if you know what you're doing, yeah,
Yep,
you know how to use them. Yeah.
pretty much.
Well, London, England, they know what they're doing. Even Washington D.C.,
Yeah,
all through the country. That shows you there's a. I mean, how do these people know about this stuff? I mean, come on, this has to be like an astral download or
well, yeah,
a,
obviously.
a,
I
a
mean,
magic going
yeah,
on here.
yeah,
There's just no way. Just you're here to build something. Just build it. You don't
yeah,
try to have a triangle. You know, Masonic. Roads and all that. You don't do it.
yeah.
Grids
Through
and
ritual, whatever the means, even if it's
yeah.
uh it doesn't matter what ritual. It doesn't matter whether it's Satanism
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
Masonic. Freemasonry, or
Hmm.
whether it's
Yeah,
Rosicrucian, etc., etc., etc. It doesn't matter.
Jesuits. Yeah.
There's something. I mean, we're looking at people who are essentially the same as us in terms of how we get spiritual knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, the glass, the quality of the water that you're going to be drinking out of the glass is filthy. The water might not taste so nice. So it's like magic that is polarized or determined by the quality of the vessel that it is in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we also know that they don't know how to create. They can only
Yeah.
copy.
Yeah.
That's what the
They're,
archons do, is copy. The egregores, they copy.
yeah,
Uh,
they take it and spin it around and make it
right.
complicated. And
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting.
yeah.
So to take you a little further, I want to ask you something. This might be a little off the uh, off subject, but what are your thoughts on Mars? Mars.
Oh yeah, yeah, I mentioned, yeah. So I've been doing channel text. I've gotten slightly delayed from it recently.
Right.
Which I wonder why.
Hmm.
But yeah, I've been diving more into Mars, and I don't remember all the details of everything I connect to, but yeah, it felt planet destroying technologies. They did have a war. Well, I feel a war with Venus. So
Okay.
to go back, so Meldeck was destroyed. I felt like some of those people went to Mars, but I don't. I think Mars already had its problems. It's like, I mean, they
Yeah.
might have brought some of their problems there, but I think Mars is already on the. They're like doing some kind of evolution of themselves.
Okay.
Like the female was very feminine, like what you have here, very feminine at
Yes.
one time.
Yeah.
And I guess at one, I don't know the whole why they just, I mean, probably technology wise, they just got more psychotic, you can say, and just
Mhm.
would masculine females, masculine
Mhm.
males,
Yeah.
empowered technologies that are just,
Okay.
you know,
The inversion or the imbalance of the sacred.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Sacred
just, I think,
masculine, sacred feminine. Yeah.
I feel like they were successful with their technology, like planet destroying technologies. I
Right.
think they were successful somewhere. And then they came here little by little. I
Mhm.
believe they were here in the early stages of Earth, but they obviously they evolved
Yeah.
since then.
Yeah.
From, you know,
There's a guy. This might be interesting to you. There's a guy. I'll tell you now his name. Um. There. Okay. Let me find the name for you. Is just gonna look here. His surname is Flynn,
mhm.
and he suggests that Mars has got the same features of the. There's some that you remember that face on Mars
Mhm. Mhm.
that it lines up with uh, America, some places in America, and it's actually quite interesting because he tries to, what he shows is all the planets in the system, they're all lining up to certain places on the Earth. And Mars, the face of Mars, I will find it for you and I'll post the link at the end of this for interest sake. That Mars is, yeah, pretty much got the same, its face. The, if you work it out in coordination, lines up to certain place. He said it was Minnesota was one of them, is the center point of the face.
Mhm.
So he's worked it out like that.
Mhm.
Um, and I have been interested in seeing that since you've been working on investigating Mars, that perhaps what you really are seeing are the I mean, your channel work takes you from one place to another to another. It's never the same.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So where it's coming from to you could have something to do with relation to the changes of the universe in its alignment all the time, because every planet or every system opens up and there's something new about it, and some facet of it reflects onto Earth. And so I think that your investigation through that Moldavite stone as something that was revealing itself to you uh, was showing that the extraterrestrial presence is showing to you through that lens. What's going on your planet comes from there. It's a projection onto your planet. Like, you know, the word casting down, or to type cast, or to cast on, is like shooting a beam of light onto something, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think. So it's not just everything that's happening here is independently unique to its people. It's got to do with a lot of influence from outside.
Yeah.
Like a book that is written about something that is struggling to find the words. There's some interest and focus on us now, which I can feel. So what I'm trying to say is
I felt that earlier.
I'm struggling to talk. Okay.
Tell me about it.
It's like a picture that has a mirror. Gee, I don't know.
I do feel energy is coming from.
It's a picture.
I just say that energy is coming from Mars to interfere with our planet.
Yeah.
Not just Saturn.
Yeah, well, Saturn is obviously the time thing. I mean, the last time we spoke about Jupiter and Saturn. One's the enforcer, and the other one is the timer, the time keeper, the time. Mars comes up, it's because it's going into some sort of retrograde. That's also another thing that's happening. But definitely, these planets are definitely being shit. It's casting information onto the planet, right? Like a lens. It projects onto the planet. Earth is the most popular, or the most perfect substrate where creation can take place, right? Okay, so
it's like a beam coming from Mars is what it feels like. Yeah.
You feel the beam. Yeah, I can feel it.
Well, like a beam, like a laser beam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm being magnified here.
I imagine so. I think I've been feeling it before we even started.
Yes.
So yeah. Yeah, they don't want that stuff revealed. Well, yeah, because we're going to have space tourism going to Mars. Well, I can see how that works out.
Oh, Jesus, I don't think it's ever going to happen, to be honest with you. And
it's such a bizarre. Okay, I mean, you haven't gone to the moon. I mean, where's your space station out? And shouldn't you prepare for that first, instead of just go there? I mean, I know they're preparing, but
I mean, the first thing that tells you that it was really a miserable failure was the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Total Recall. And then there was what was that other movie called? Where they went on Mars and they all just got obliterated by those aliens. What the hell?
I think I remember. I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Matt Damon went there.
Yeah.
Is it? And
no, Matt Damon was the
that was it. The Martian.
The progenitor of showing how amazing it was, though.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. To say no, the Wizard of Oz is talking truth here.
Well, is that the one with Gary Sinise?
Yes.
Yes. One that they I think did the whole crew die, and then one guy was there, and
that's right.
It's like the movie was kind of like
that was really bizarre.
The movie was like kind of 2001-ish, kind of like, what is this thing? And then at the end, it's like,
Oh, Val Kilmer
what?
was in it as well. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
that's right. Yeah, he
that's
was. Yeah,
old.
yeah.
Yeah.
And right at the end, it's like, yeah, we were the ones watching your planet, yada yada. And I was like, shit, talk about exposure. It's like, well, it's
Shit.
just amazing. This planet's still. Well, this world is learned
Red
from all
Planet.
those.
Red
Yeah,
Planet. That was what it was called. Sorry. Go
yeah, I
ahead.
remember that. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's just surprising this place is still here, with all they're keeping it around because usually they can will end up like Mars, which is probably our timelines, but that does exist. So,
this
jeez.
planet is she is she is too important.
Mhm.
If it disappears out of the cycle, out of the
Yeah,
other, then there's nothing to hold them all together because
yeah.
really Earth, yeah. I mean,
It feel yeah,
right,
yeah. It feels like they say our world's not significant. I guess it depends on who you're talking to,
right,
but it's like maybe this planet is like the center of the universe, but when you look at like other versions of Earth, when you feel like obviously this one's kind of not as exciting as it could be, but when you see, we can visualize it's infinite Earths basically.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, do other planets even have any? It's like all the worlds, even our universe, are working on us to. They're putting their stuff here so we
Well,
can.
that's my point. Have you
Yeah,
noticed how important this place is? I mean, this is
yeah,
why others are probably telling them they're
yeah,
feeding the consciousness to go to Mars. Go to Mars. Go there.
yeah,
Go
yeah. Don't.
there. Go there.
Yeah,
Go there.
go there.
Right there.
Don't pay attention to this
Don't
place.
come back. Go.
Well, pretty much. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They just send them over there. They live. Hopefully, people live when they get there, but we're nowhere near that yet. I mean, of course, you have a secret space program, but that's.
It's like Elon Musk's rockets that don't go all the
Yeah,
way out, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
much so it's embarrassing for the fellow. It's
yeah.
embarrassing for him.
Yeah, shouldn't we have like a space station, like you want a SpaceX space station? Maybe gives a little more encouragement. This might work. Yeah, shouldn't you be developing things first before you just head out to Mars? Just hell with it.
Yeah,
Just
go
go.
already, man. Come back. Tell us. I know that, but yeah. It's
It's
like
like,
seriously,
yeah,
uh,
it's
this
not
is
like a
where you
good
have
word.
to admire the intellectual potential.
No, it's weird. I mean, I guess the thing is just so bizarre. People can't. Well, the other thing is about it's channeling and all this. You just grab, just do what you got to do on connections and not
Yeah,
worry about obviously what anybody says,
yeah,
because or people will find like 10 years from now
yeah,
or 100
yeah,
or even 1,000, maybe they'll look back at some of this and say, oh, look, they were talking about this back then. And we didn't even pay attention to it. So
yeah. I
just keep put.
actually, I, I I know that, the interesting thing is I have asked, look, let me put it this way. I'm not against the growth of technology to
Mhm.
expand, and I am amazed by those things. It's amazing to have the laptop and the machine that you can talk on, and it's
Yeah,
brilliant. It's lovely.
yeah,
If provided it is it has its purpose. I honestly think that we are still in the dark ages in terms of an
yeah.
energetic process. I think
Oh yeah,
that humanity in a whole, as a whole, um, have been so exploited and programmed to
Mhm.
believe that that the next best thing is possibly the only thing that's going to save them or me or whatever or her or it or whatever,
Yeah,
um, programmed to look outside, to
yeah.
always look outside and never look within. Because I know every time I say take responsibility for yourself, people's eyes go all sleepy when I say it. The most people that I work with. So
Most, yeah,
it's strange because the more you look outside of yourself, the less you value yourself, the more you're subjected to program.
yeah,
and influence, right?
I mean, obviously you need some kind of entertainment or something, but don't. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just when you get pulled into the drama, and all you care about is the drama, and not
Yeah,
looking in at the galactic self. Like
yeah,
do you want to open up your abilities, your telekinesis abilities, whatever it might be?
yeah,
And it might not happen now, but follow your. You kind of have to shut the world out, basically. In some
yeah,
regard.
yeah.
It's hard to do.
So I have a theory that uh, what, well, I've been working on something that I've been finding out. Crystal technology obviously also inside of our screens, like
Mm-hmm.
liquid crystal
Mm-hmm.
display.
Yeah.
They're still using the same technology. Nothing's really changed.
Hmm.
I mean, there's still sacrifices, rituals.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
There's no
There's,
progress. It's just being dressed in another package.
yeah. Yeah. Europe or Mexico. Obviously, they just. I mean, even just human labor.
Yeah,
I mean, not just
yeah.
slave labor, just
Uh,
regular labor.
the slaves that would go and work in the field, they're just working in cubicles. It's just the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah. And if you have a 9 to 5 job, it's kind of slavery anyway. So
So
that's a ritual.
yes, exactly. So do you not think maybe left field, objectively, your thoughts, this thing that's happening now to everyone on this planet,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that this could have the potential to perhaps spur people on to wake up, to focus within? Do you think it's possible?
Sort of. Yeah, in some form. Yeah. Especially when you tell somebody, yeah, I've already been working with them, but then you have to go further in. It's like that doesn't go very well. You're always digging in yourself.
Yeah,
Isn't there always layers that we have not discovered? There's always something that
yeah,
it's not always easy for us to see it. Or
yeah,
yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's you know, because
yeah.
just
Again, I'm going to bring it up again. Uh, where are all the fires?
yeah, that's right. Oh, they turned them off.
Oh, they've switched it off because they've switched something else on. So
That's why I was.
that's made it kind of more obvious, right?
No. Yeah, there was. Yeah, I agree. Well, even the weather when the weather comes, I always feel like
Yeah,
there's some kind of weather program. It's like, okay, now it's supposed to get cold, so hit that button.
yeah.
So
And may I ask you, do you have chemtrails where you are?
yeah, they're still doing. I haven't
Are there
mentioned.
still
I haven't
chemtrailing?
looked in my ears, in my area, like in the middle in the morning. Because I don't look all the time, but yeah, even my neighborhood is flooded with them.
Yes, so they still have time to do that. That's interesting.
Yeah, they're still. I thought now when this all hit, I believe they paused it for a while,
Yeah.
but then they like March, and then they just
So wait a minute. You
activated.
said they paused it for a while. Was it
It's like March when it hit here
when
in the
it
United
hit?
States. Yeah, that's my feeling on it. Yeah, like a couple months, and then they've reactivated it again.
That's
So
why when we started to talk about this today, uh, I think it's bizarre that all these other things have stopped.
I know. Isn't that funny?
All right.
Yeah,
I mean, that's so obvious that
yeah.
we all know that it's manipulation, obviously. I'm
There
not,
was it's
uh,
just
I find it funny.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like there's without going into details, like there's a shooting and all
Yeah,
kinds of stuff. Where's the news there? I mean,
yeah,
it's a horror fest. I mean, just the
yeah,
United States, of course, where you're
yeah,
at too. The
yeah.
United States, like horrific stuff. News is not, don't get, they might report in the newspaper, but that's about it.
Mind you, the shooting is still happening with us. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. There's always going to be some sort of weird
Well,
chaos thing happening where we are. But
interest in Portland, I don't watch the news, but sometimes I check in every once in a
Yeah,
while. Like I get guided to see it.
yeah,
Portland's like in lockdown, like fires. I mean, people are doing the fires. You know, I mean, not, maybe not in the trees, but you
yeah.
know, in the city itself. You know, there's. I don't think it's getting a whole lot of attention, but
Well,
and that's like a major ritual
yes,
area. Human
yeah.
trafficking, at least at one time, but I just laugh.
It's also perfect real estate for them to buy up when the people have damaged the property so badly.
It's
Other guys
real.
can come and
It's
buy it up. It's like monopoly, right?
you know,
Yeah, it's all
yeah.
nice. It's all part of this whole operating system that some people want to
Yeah.
inject into us.
Well, yeah, like the conspiracy theorists, like they're into the elite cabal and get all propaganda about it, and that's like one stage of the next, so like the spiritual awakening, where
Mm.
you have the guides and you know
Yeah,
aliens, and they're just not ready for it. The drama is too much, you know.
yeah,
Too, it's part of their own darkness, basically.
yeah.
So, yeah,
So,
the fear.
what can we do to go through all of this? I mean, not obviously we're having to go through it, but what are we able to do as enlightened people? What what do you
Okay.
think are
That
there for us to do that we
well,
could?
you can add the timeline that works for you. The positive timeline if that works for you. Not to say everything's gonna be perfect, but you know, don't give in to all of this, you know, propaganda that's everywhere. Just follow
Mm,
your own. What is your? Because you'll get stronger if they're going to let you get stronger. Because usually there's bad, as you know, they
yeah,
don't make it easy.
yeah,
Call them they, but it's you know the astral plane. That's the darker side of the astral plane is playing tricks with us. But
yeah.
just your own projects, your own writings, or whatever it might be. And you know, obviously, you got to check in with the world and see what's doing, but you don't have to. And be people that are open at, over, you know, to open all of this if you feel lonely.
Mm,
And that's you know, it's a double. I mean, it's positive and negative. I mean, it gives you time to open up in your own spiritual path. You
mm.
know, sometimes you need quiet to connect to these beings. You can't be around a lot of clutter or
And you're working with
quiet.
comics as well. That's
Oh yeah,
another form for you.
oh yeah. I do the comics. I'm working on
Yeah,
a channeled book.
yeah.
No form of real life, social life, but well, I do on life, which is fine. But yeah,
So
comics, channeling,
it's good.
work, whenever that's available. So yeah,
I guess we are all just um, working on staying sane.
yeah,
Mm.
easier said than done, of course.
Yeah,
You just, I mean, even with spiritual work, even that could probably drive you crazy after a while. Even that you
yeah.
need a break.
Sometimes.
You need
Yeah,
to
I
get
agree
back
with
to
you. I agree.
yeah, watch a movie or something, or just or a book or something, just to
Yeah,
you get entertain yourself where you're not constantly trying to. I don't constantly try to connect. I
yeah,
mean, before I do a video, I connect or something. Someone might send me a message.
yeah,
It's like, oh, maybe I should look into that.
yeah.
It's all spontaneous.
Well,
So
this is why I'm enjoying communicating with you here
yeah,
because I don't expect you to do anything other than to just relax and connect with yourself.
you know,
Mm. Yeah,
I do feel. I do feel like as we're talking, like Area 51, they're doing something astrally to
yeah, of course there are.
awaken society. Oh, that's right. I told you about this. About the this. I can't remember everything. Yeah, the distortions around Area 51.
All right. Yes.
I guess my guides probably
Wonderfully.
reminded me about that. Gee, I
That's
wonder
right.
why I forgot.
No, well,
It's
it
like,
obviously was made to be forgotten.
obviously. But yeah, like there's something more going. You know, they can shift the way it looks. Like if there is a building there, and people, I believe I even saw a video saying, like somebody would say S4 was there or some or a
Yes.
building, and then they look. Somebody now looks at it. There's nothing there. Well, yeah, because they do something there. They
Well,
distort the reality.
let me tell you something interesting. I've got I'm on a, okay, I'm going to show you something here. I am on a, on a browser. That's pretty cool. This browser is called Quaint. And if
Never heard
you
of
go
that.
into the latitude and the longitude of this particular area, and I will show it to you now, you can see the other stuff that's on there. Let me find it quickly for you. I will share it with you. Let me go in. And here we go. So, okay, I'm going to share with you the screen. I won't keep you much longer. I don't want to share this with you. Here you go. That's what it's called. Quaint. It's got that little,
Okay.
okay, look there.
Hmm.
How's that?
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
They built into it or something, or
They just remove all the layers. This browser is remarkable. That's how I found out. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Yeah, if you go in to it slowly, yeah, that's as far as it can go. That's probably as far as much as they can show you, these guys. And this is the site. Now, interesting enough about this particular place that you mentioned, Area 51, I want to show you something. The distance between Area 51 to the coast and the distance from, so the distance from there to there, and I triangulate that area, I triangulated it, is exactly, almost exactly the same as a place in South Africa called Drakensberg, which is on the opposite side of
the world. Yeah.
So yeah, South Africa, and this is South Africa. Drakensberg sits there. Okay, and it's the same distance from there, triangulated, as Area 51. I worked it out. There's Drakensberg.
Definitely do a lot of things there, that's for sure.
Now, I haven't been able to go to Drakensberg, which was a destination where we used to go to have holiday, for about 3 years. Because every time I go there, I get sick. I actually get a headache. It makes me feel ill. And I know there's something metallic and very, very big there that's actually wedged into that range, that mountain range. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a base under there, some kind of base.
Yep, 100%. And it was put there about 2.5 years ago. Yeah.
I feel Anunnaki there, which is normally don't feel them.
Oh yeah.
I normally don't feel them around. Not like that.
There's a lot of that stuff here. So that distance from there to there, triangulated it,
Jeez.
is
Somewhere.
same as Area 51.
Yeah, Africa is definitely
well,
they don't make it easy going to Africa for obvious reasons.
No, they don't. They from there to there, triangulated it. It's the same as from there to there. Same thing. Just the mirror of each other. Crazy, eh? Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. Okay. So anything else that we could work with? I know that we're going to be connecting again. This is just the beginning for us scratching the surface of Earth with all its weird and weird thingies happening here, all strange things. So Ivan, thank you very much for coming
Yeah.
and sharing with you and having a nice chat with me. It was lovely.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.